All right, so I find myself back in Indiana once again, dealing with some family emergency stuff, and now we're actually going to try another 3-player test game of my Dungeon Crawl board game, and we've got Geoff's playing the cleric for the first time. We're testing out the cleric. Jason's playing the thief, and I'm going to play the fighter again. And for the first time, we actually have a printed copy of the 40-page rule book in hand to use, so that'll be nice. And these are fresh prints of all the assets, so all the data on the assets is kind of up to speed.
Okay, help me set this up real quick,
The
Rich.
Black and Salmon was almost two seasons. Yeah. I didn't realize it wasn't as done as it was.
Whoa, smoky.
Torch is all the way up to the top.
Yeah. I'll keep track of that threat level.
I didn't tell anybody how I went up on that.
Little,
It's my secret.
little secret.
I do need standees, Rich.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna obviously do a fighting staff in my hand. That's two-handed. Oh God.
Yep.
Prayer.
Oh, is that a?
Yeah, where's the prayer go?
That's an ingredient. Yeah. So.
No, it's a number.
Yeah.
So it goes in
That's
here.
what I mean. You have to roll 1d6 to see how many prayers you start with. 3. Okay, so you get 3 prayers. He can spend a prayer to re-roll any roll.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's like the very definition of a prayer.
Yeah. Exactly.
What about roots?
Roots are ingredients, and so you can automatically get roots, and you roll 1d6 for all of those to see how many you start
But
with.
I can only carry so many things.
Yeah, but those don't count
Oh,
because they're weightless. They're pretty much weightless. They're just like,
I only got one root.
okay, that's fine.
One. Let's see, the holy water. 4 holy waters.
That's why your character is special, because you get a ton of ingredients that don't weigh anything.
Ruins. Can I keep the ruins in the stove?
Yeah, you can keep them maybe keep them in the light slot. Although ruins may be one item that I don't actually have instructions for.
Mushrooms. I got a shit ton of mushrooms.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the ruins. The ruins are like the one item that have no rules associated with them.
Well, then I don't want them.
Well, we can make shit up as we go.
Let's stick to something you know what you're doing. The scroll. And then these are the only 2. Herbs I can still get. 3 herbs. And then the potion I can't.
I think you want the potion if you can, because you need a potion to make concoctions.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Can I just like throw here?
What do the runes do?
No, because it's not a wearable. Oh, you can wear the amulet
Okay,
and
let's do
stow the
that.
potion.
Does this look like a pretty good setup?
Yeah, that's a good setup. What was your question?
What do the runes do?
We don't know. That's why he's
There's
not
like
using them.
bones in the bags.
Is he back from
He's
work?
like dying. So he's got like all this footage of him. It's like being a telesport about it. He's like one of the best artists. He like did like the Teen Titans and stuff like in the Marvel.
Oh, I do know him. He did a Marvel Way one. Draw the Marvel Way. You know how they had all those workshops with Stan Lee?
Maybe. Yeah, he didn't do much Marvel work, but he did the Avengers, Justice League crossover with Marvel and DC.
Alright, so I'm just going to make my way. 1, 2, 3. And now I have to stop. And we're still playing with single actions per turn. So we each get a single action and then we just move to the next person. Alright, so I'm going to do an explore action. So I need to draw a side tile. So I'm just going to draw the first side tile. And this is the colonnade. And for the Temple of the Old Worm, you can see that the side tiles fit. You just have to kind of look at the exterior of the building to make sure you're placing it right. there's one skull here, so I need to draw a monster. And we've got over child, rats, sludge.
I like that sound.
Whimper.
I'm gonna want one of these right here, right? Is this the right one?
Yeah. All right, so I drew whimper, so I know that there's something whimpering in the corner. So you've got a skull there, so you're gonna draw a monster.
Oh,
So
chanting.
you hear chanting.
Was not supposed to show that. cultist.
No, you can show it. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point, but like you don't have line of sight on it, so you hear chanting coming from this corner, but you can't see it, so it's not a cultist yet. This just represents its unactivated state.
Got it.
And if you get line of sight on it, then we flip it over or put it in a standee, and then it's activated, and it'll perform different functions once it's activated.
Cool.
Is this one?
You were on that, so yeah,
1, 2.
cool.
To avoid the line of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna end movement right beside it. So that will automatically activate that monster. I approach the whimpering and discover a feral child in the corner. The little ones venture beyond the wall, never to be seen again, lost to the wild. And since the feral child is now activated, if the child has line of sight on me, then she snickers, and she does have line of sight on me. And then we go down here to the snicker instruction, and I have to test knowledge at difficulty 5, and if I pass, then she'll stay, otherwise she'll run. My knowledge is 3, I roll 1 die, 4, so I rolled under the knowledge test of 5, so I was unable to get her to stay, and so she runs, so she flees in a random direction. And so we roll a die, we roll a 2, and then we look here, and this exit has a 1 or a 2, so she's gonna flee to this exit. And so now the feral child is running away from me, and she's going that way. And that's the end of my turn. And I don't end up doing a combat roll or a conflict roll with her because she fled before I had a chance to do the conflict roll.
I'm gonna go alongside here with Jax.
Cool. All right, Jax, you're up. So since you're moving into the center of the compound, you're gonna draw from the center pile. Yeah, perfect. I was curious if that would be intuitive, but looks like it was. All right, so you've explored, and now we have to look at what we've got, what we're dealing with here. There's one monster here, so we'll draw one monster, and then inside the inner sanctum, there's a discovery there.
I probably should have that at lunch.
Yeah, light alcohol or light
Like dragonfly.
like carbs.
I think it had like a 4.7 versus a 6.6.
6.6. That's like a pretty alcoholic beverage.
Yeah. I got the Hep Cat. Patty Cat.
Dragonfly, the very best beer you could possibly buy. Not sponsored by, but hopefully one day. Dragonfly from Upland Brewery.
Okay. Jax the thief, here's some chanting right around the corner. And then go ahead and draw, but don't look at one of those discovery tokens. Did you look at it?
Right here?
Yeah, and then it goes there. All right, I don't know why, but I'm gonna deal with this feral child. So the feral child has special rules in this scenario, and if you can befriend the feral child, then she becomes a companion, and then she's worth extra victory points if you get her out of the temple. But I have to do a knowledge test. So I'm adjacent to her again. I passed my knowledge test, so she stays instead of running. So now I'm adjacent to her, and now I can try to befriend her. If I would have failed my knowledge test, she would have run again, and then I would have had to have kept chasing her. But I finally have her attention, and she's not running. So now I have to do a knowledge test and see if I can befriend her. I failed my knowledge test to try to befriend her, and so I had to do a conflict roll. And I rolled low, I rolled a 3, and so on a 5 or less, she hits me. So I try to befriend her, and she basically just punches me in the face, and I take 1 damage. So my fighter's health goes from 12 down to 11.
To it. Be like, hey, what's up?
Okay.
What's up, bro?
Okay, so since you landed adjacent to it, it automatically activates, like right now.
It's on this one.
Okay, so you ended your turn adjacent to the cultist, so now you have to do a conflict roll. Because you have line of sight on each other, it's activated, and you're adjacent to it.
So what's my conflict roll?
So you roll 1d6, you have your fighting staff equipped,
Yeah.
and it's a agility weapon.
Yes.
So what's your agility?
My agility
It's
is
like 4.
4.
All right, so you roll 1d6 and you add 4 to it.
Okay.
So 5 plus 4 is 9. Okay, so we rolled a 9. You've got the fighting staff, which is a long, blunt weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 6 or higher, you hit the cultist. So you kill the cultist, but now we have to see if the cultist also hit you. So on a 6 or less, the cultist hits you too. So you basically attack the cultist and hit it, and now it's incapacitated, and the cultist did not get a hit on you. So you just took that cultist out, and it happened before the cultist could hit you, so there was nobody was alerted. If the cultist hit you too, then the threat level would go up and a noise would be made, and any cultist in an adjacent cell would also be activated. But since you managed to do it before any of that, this cultist was not activated.
Okay.
Okay, so you just moved from here to here, and you went past the line of sight of this chanting.
Yeah.
So you can do a stealth test to see if you avoided getting seen. So your stealth is high, it's 5. So we look on the sneak table, and the threat level is 1. So you need to, the challenge rating is a 5. And your stealth is a 5, so you don't even need to roll. You needed to roll a 5 or higher, but your stealth is a 5, and you're gonna roll and add to that. So even if you rolled a 1, you'd get a 6.
Uh-huh.
So you pass your stealth test regardless, because you're the thief. It's my turn. The feral child hit me, and I was like, what the hell? But I'm gonna keep trying to befriend her, because she's worth like an XP, which is quite a bit.
Did you pack any candy?
But somebody else should be trying to work on this, because I'm the dumbest out of all the heroes.
But we shouldn't know what you're doing on the other side of the board.
Yeah, but that's part of the meta of playing a board game, is that you do know. You know what I mean?
I'm almost there if you want to call me over.
I'll try it one more time. So I'm doing a knowledge roll. So she doesn't run away from me. And now I'm gonna try to roll to befriend her. So I roll a 6 plus my knowledge, so that's 8, and I needed to roll an 8 or higher to befriend her. So now, like, I'm finally getting through to her, and now she's responding. So she's not scared of me, and she's not running away, and she's no longer attacking me either. So I've just befriended the feral child. And so now I take her and put her on my card. Although it'd probably be more cool if she just followed me around and still was like active and independent on the board.
But she'd fight with you, wouldn't she?
Yeah, but for now I'm just gonna put her on the card, because I'm just trying to juggle too many other new rules. But ultimately, yeah, she could stay on the board and be an active NPC, which would be even cooler than just being on the card. But let's just do it this way.
It'd be cool if you had double standees, so you could have 2 characters slotted together.
That would be cool. That'd be pretty easy to do too. Like, okay. So I think I'm done. Cool. So the thief explores and discovers purification pool. There are no monsters or discoveries, but if you end movement adjacent to this pool, you have to do a tentacle roll. So corners are fine, but if you end movement in any 4 of the adjacent, then you have to roll for tentacles.
All right, let's just get right. 1, 2. I'll be right next to you.
Okay.
And her, the creepy little thing you picked up.
And that's it.
Back to Jax.
Back to the thief. Okay. And then I'm gonna explore. So I need a side. Does the side corner thing make sense to you guys? Or is it weird? Like, do both of you understand? Like why I had to draw a side there? Or is it confusing?
I didn't think about it too much.
Geoff?
Is it because you have green along the sides here?
Yeah, and also like you see how the backs of these cards have like they're a 4x4 array of cells, and I've only gone up. So the temple's a 4x4 array always. So we're slowly building out the 4x4 array of map tiles,
Okay.
and so we're only 3 tiles up, so that has to be a side. Does it?
Yeah, because it can't be a corner.
Right, but the next one would be a corner.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I just didn't know if that was clear.
Yeah, I think if you know 4x4, then you can quite easily pick it up. But this is more than you need to know right here. Just the fact that this has an edge piece.
Yeah, and I did the edge piece just to like really
Yeah.
like nail the idea home.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, cool. I just didn't know how confusing
Is
that
this
was.
new, the edge piece?
It's been there for a while.
Yeah, that's really super helpful.
So I heard some chanting, and there was line of sight. Actually, I'm in shadow, so there wouldn't be line of sight. I have line of sight on him, but he doesn't have line of sight on me. So he's still activated. I know it's a cultist, but he can't see me. And
He
so
wouldn't be activated, would he?
he's activated but not alert, if that makes sense.
Oh, because you see him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now he'll be patrolling, but he's not going to attack me until he sees me.
Okay.
And so that's the end of my turn. Cool. So the thief just explored, and now we know where the doorway to the inner sanctum is, but he can't actually get through it here. So, but we know which way to go to get there. And then there's like a monster here. You actually just ran smack dab into a monster that you're gonna have to deal with. And then there's another monster here, and a discovery there, and a door there. So I'm gonna go ahead and place all those. So you have your dagger in your hand,
Yes.
and that's an agility weapon. It's light, short, sharp agility weapon. So roll 1d6, 2, and then add your agility score to it.
5.
So your total was 7, and you have a short, light weapon. You needed an 8 or greater to hit the
Can
cultist.
I use my poison?
Yeah, I haven't specified the rules on whether that should probably happen before the conflict roll, but let's just go ahead and say that you use the poison, just because we're just kind of trying to work this out right now. So I would decrement your poison by 1. Oh, but that only is damage. That adds to damage, not to hit. It doesn't make you more likely to hit. It just makes you more likely to damage more.
Oh, okay.
So it actually wouldn't help you in this case.
Okay.
So so what was the total? Sorry,
7.
I'm trying to do too much here. 7 was your total, and so you needed an 8 or greater to hit the cultist, but you're using a small weapon, and you just kind of got unlucky and missed it. But the cultist needs a 6 or less to hit you, because there's only one cultist, so it misses you too. So you see each other, you scuffle, but neither one of you really get a good hit off, and that's the end of that conflict roll.
Yep.
Technically, the threat level should go up, and there should be an alert check, because he knows you're here. You're now fighting, and he's like, "Hey, what the hell?" And he's making lots of noise. But this cultist isn't necessarily adjacent to this cultist. He'd have to be in this chamber to be adjacent. So I don't think he actually hears anything. But I think I'm just gonna go here and attack. I can't, I have a crossbow in my hand. I need to fix that. Actually, I could just stay here and he's 2 spaces away and I can just shoot at him. I have line of sight. So ranged weapon table. The monster size is human. So I need a 3+ to hit on a 1d6. And the distance is not bad. And combat roll to hit for the crossbow bolts is 6 + 1. Okay, so I need a 3+, but I have to add 1. So I need 4 or greater. I have a 50% chance of hitting the cultist. And I miss it. So I shoot a bolt at the cultist and it kind of goes awry. So I lose a crossbow bolt and I miss the cultist.
So what happened with the threat level here?
So every time a cultist is alerted, the threat level goes up by 1. And so, threat level went up when the thief ran into that cultist. Threat level went up when I tried to shoot that cultist with my crossbow and missed.
And the one
at
I
close
killed.
range.
The one I killed too.
Yeah, but did you kill him on the very first? Like, should the threat level have gone up there? I mean,
I wouldn't think so.
because you killed it before it did any damage to you. So it's basically like you ran into it and you whacked it in the head and it died. Like, should
Yeah.
the threat level go up?
That's about the only reason why it shouldn't go up. If there's any other interaction with them, it probably should go up.
So if you can kill a monster on the first try before it gets any damage on you, then that's like an ambush, no threat level increase.
Something to strive for.
Right.
Okay, so here we are. We are exploring this tile here. This must be a center tile, correct, Rich? And we take the top one. I think I grabbed the wrong one. Was I not supposed to grab that one?
This indicates center tile.
Center tile, okay.
The cleric just explored this inner sanctum tile, and there's a monster, a discovery, and
There's a door.
another discovery. And then this is a secret door, so you can't go through there until you discover that secret door. So you have to do like a roll for secret door. So your turn is done. We've loaded that tile with the discoveries and the monster. And that's a secret passage. So to go that way, you are gonna have to. But this is interesting. This is a weird rule, but that chanting is adjacent to you, and cultists are not affected by the secret passages at all because they know all the secret passages. So now,
But I'm in the dark here.
but you're adjacent. You can either or both of you can be in shadow, but if you're adjacent.
Okay.
Which you are. So basically the cultist gets a hit on you because it's basically coming out of the secret door and ambushing you.
Do I know about the secret passage at least, if it's coming out of it?
Yeah, you do. Player always rolls. Okay, so you roll a 4. The cultist needs a 6 or less. What's your agility?
Agility of 4.
Okay, so 4 + 4 is 8. The cultist needs it. So the cultist does not hit you. It comes at you. There should be like an ambush bonus or something.
Okay, give me a standy for this guy.
Okay.
Okay, so now I get to attack him. Or her. Or it.
It's the same. It's actually all in the same roll. So 8 was your total. 4 + 4.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a long, blunt, light weapon. So you needed a 6 or greater to hit the cultist. So this is an example of like how his long staff is easier to hit the cultist with than like a short dagger. So he hits the cultist, which means you killed it because it only has 1 hit point. So you basically whack the cultist.
It's 2 cultists. How many have you killed? How many guys you killed? It's a 0 there.
gonna manage equipment with my turn, and I'm just gonna like stow my crossbow and equip my broadsword. Yeah,
It's a long time coming.
I just really wanted to shoot that crossbow, you know?
You did.
Yeah,
How'd it go?
I shot it real good. Okay, and that's it. That's my turn. So I didn't do monster phase. This cultist would actually move here and attack me on this turn, and I couldn't do that. I wouldn't have been able to do the gear swap. So I'm stuck with this ranged weapon in my hands, and which is lame.
Can you use it to like brain them with it?
Nah, you can't, unfortunately. But what I'm gonna do, so I have to do a conflict roll, and I can only use my might. I can't add a die roll to it. That's the penalty. If you don't have a weapon that you can fight with, you're just fighting with your hands. So it's just might. So instead of 6+ roll, it's just 6. So the cultist actually hits me because he needs a 6 or less, and it was a 6. So he does 1d3 damage to me. So that's actually half of that would be 2 because you round up. So on a 1d3, that's a 2, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So he does 2 damage to me, so my health goes down to 9. And do I damage it? I think fists are like short, blunt weapons. So I actually needed like an 8 or greater to hit the cultist. And I only had a 6, so yeah, I don't hit the cultist.
No dice.
No dice.
The discovery token, see what I got. And it is some gold, some light gold.
It used to be that secret passage cells were colored differently,
Yeah.
and I kind of lost that at some point, but there should be maybe center dots that indicate that like, oh, you're in the secret passage now.
Yeah,
But you should be able to get out of that without doing a check.
Okay, and I'm done.
Okay, so the thief explores the corner. There's one monster here. I feel like these icons are too hard to read. I need to make them bigger or color them red or something. And there is like a secret passage there. So let's draw one monster.
Scamper. You and your scampers.
So you're here. The scamper's there.
He's in darkness.
You're in shadow, so you're good. You're not going to activate it. But one interesting thing you can do is since you can blast through secret passages with no problem. I mean, you can either confront the scamper or you can actually just blast through there and avoid it altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So that the thief has like some cool things. Like I designed the thief so that he can basically sneak around and almost never fight if he doesn't want to. Because I feel like that's what thieves would do.
The center piece.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
it looks like that thing has nothing in it.
Yeah, that's an empty chamber.
Okay, that was boring.
Yeah, pretty boring.
Cool.
I should put a discovery inside the secret passage, you know? 'Cause it's
No, you shouldn't, because if nobody discovers it, then the villager will never be discovered.
right, but you can continue to attempt to discover.
Okay.
It's not like you only get one chance.
Because you have to go over the whole board to
You
make sure.
okay, my turn. I'm just gonna go 1, 2, and on my next turn I'll pick that up. So, cleric.
All right, so I'll go ahead and go through. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just hoping to find another way into this center chamber.
Okay, thief, explore,
Explore.
edge,
Edge guard.
It's a fancy room.
the sigil, and I don't see anything. I definitely need to make the icons better because they get lost. But yeah, there's nothing in the room. Originally, there was going to be like rules for certain rooms. Like if you stand in the center of the sigil, something happens. I think I should like work on that a little bit. Just have like special rules for each room, like simple rules, just so there's like something fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for my action, I'm just gonna pick up this gold. And
Okay, so this guy is going to have, it looks like nothing on it.
Right. That's another tile where I kind of wanted it to have a special feature, like it's the chopping block, and so I felt like something special should happen on the chopping block. At one point, I had these rules for like, oh, you can get captured by cultists, and if you get captured by cultists, like they take you straight to the chopping block.
You get sacrificed.
But why? Does the worm need you in pieces?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. And then I was like, well, what if the chopping block hasn't been discovered yet? And it just gets complicated.
Yeah.
So I ditched the rules for that kind of stuff. But so now it's just a room that doesn't do anything.
Back to the thief. Where is he?
Approach the door to pick the lock.
Ah, yeah.
Smart.
Who asked you to pick a lock?
Nothing really. Oh, you have to
switch hands.
You have to equip it. You have to put it in one of your hands.
So that's a turn.
Yeah, that's a turn. It's a managed gear. And then on your next turn, you just use it, and since you're the thief, like
It just works.
It'll just open.
Okay. Cool.
Which is kind of cool because that door would be really hard to break down. So
I hope you're ready to face everything inside there too.
I'm gonna kill every fucking thing.
we have. Well, we're looking for villagers, so I'm gonna just search. I'm gonna head toward here and search this corner because we pretty much have to search the whole thing. 2, 3, 4. Technically, I probably should have had to roll to go through that secret passage. But I didn't really think about that. The secret passage stuff is clumsy. I have to figure that out. Like once it's discovered, should everybody be able to go through it? Or does everybody have to discover it
How do you
separately?
keep track of it?
I think you would
Right.
just like, it would be exposed. It would be open, left open.
Okay, but then you have to keep track of it, like Jason said. This is the kind of stuff that gets kind of messy. It's like
This will be a centerpiece.
the final sanctum.
And it looks like a dead end with nothing to it
Okay.
at all.
But there's a couple more discoveries though.
And so, let me put some discoveries down. So there's number 1, and then there's a door here.
Yeah, let me grab a door. I'm gonna draw a random door. It's a challenge rating 6 door, so this is like a pretty weak door, and it goes here, and discovery here too.
So far, the cleric has not been.
Here, I'll put it there.
The cleric, all of her potions are something that can help you on the spot. And like, how would you do that on the spot? There's nothing you can do preemptively with her.
Right.
It's just all like, hurry up and mix stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I may have to revisit. I kind of threw it together, but it may not be practical.
She can heal herself,
Mm-hmm.
and she can hurt stuff with her component spell pieces.
Right.
But there's nothing like you can prepare for, which it seems like right now she would be preparing for something.
Yeah, and maybe that's something I need to look into. Like maybe this, the concoctions need to be iterated upon.
I think so. And then also like I think that like she should have some intuitiveness. She would, but she's been pretty powerful with hitting people with her staff.
Right.
Yeah, she's not like bad.
Because they're just cultists.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just whacking humans with a staff, but she's not going to be as effective against like the worm.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, when the worm starts damaging us all, we're going to need her healing powers. That's the whole thing about the cleric.
You didn't share that goal with me. So.
You wanted to play the cleric.
So whose turn is it now?
Or this corner. Storage cellar. And there is a door, a monster, and a discovery. So let's draw a door. This door has a challenge rating of 8. Not looking. Scamper. Alright, and then let's see if there's any line of sight stuff going on. I'm in shadow and the scamper is in shadow and we're not adjacent, so we don't have line of sight on each other. I need to go for the discovery, obviously. So I'm gonna like go through here. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I did sneak through, I sneaked past here. I have to basically do a stealth roll to see if I alert the scamper. So what I say for this threat level, I need to roll an 8 for sneak. Yeah, threat level 4, I have to roll an 8. Or the challenge rating's an 8. So I roll 1 plus stealth is 2, 3. I clearly. So we just hit threat level 5. So on the monster phase, all 3 of these cultists are gonna pour into the temple and kind of go after the closest hero.
Discovery! Or whatever.
Ooh, the dungeon. There's 2 discoveries in there.
Okay, so I need a door.
Okay.
You do the door, send all the discoveries. Discovery there. Discovery here. Monster.
Door. 2 monsters.
Monster number 1 is a scamper. Monster number 2 is a rumble. I don't want anything to do with the rumble. But I can't even get through, so it doesn't matter.
Actually, the rumble, in this scenario, I think when you draw it, you automatically activate the old worm. And you place it in the center of the understanding. Shit, dude.
Well, that's random because you could do that right away then.
I feel we're not going to win this campaign.
It's kind of my fault.
It's just been kind of floundering from the start. Like the
magic
Balthazar, like shooting duds from his bolt gun.
Sometimes things just go wrong, you know?
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. Is
the chance of dying.
Is it my turn or do we had
I was just gonna, when the old worm chit is drawn from the monster chit pool, do not place it on the monster icon of the tile being explored. So the old worm, we immediately just place it here.
What is he called? The old worm.
I don't know, it's kind of stupid, isn't it?
Shh. I'll hear you.
Rawr! Caw! Caw!
Rumble.
Alright, so the thief is in deep shit right now.
Nah, not really.
But the thief, fortunately, gets to do something. Your turn's over, cleric, right?
Yep.
Okay. The thief can actually go before the monster phase, because the monster phase happens after we all go. So here's your chance, thief, to do something. But I'll just tell you that the old worm is going to do 1d3 sanity damage to you, just because
That makes sense.
you look at it. So you need to roll a die.
But it's not his turn yet, though.
But it happens immediately.
Okay.
So that's a 2. So it does 2 sanity damage to you. So your sanity's down to 2.
So you're dead when you lose 2 more sanities.
Well, you're dying. But the cleric could potentially heal you. So the old worm appears and you're just like, what the fuck? You kind of lose your mind for a second.
I don't have any way over there.
Your sanity takes a hit.
Oh my god,
Shit.
there's no... Look at that. How would I even get to him?
Yeah, see, it's like the last time where we were on the other side. Now, this time the thief's in there and we're far away.
You guys are just thinking about yourselves.
You're the one that like blasted that door open.
Yeah,
Wandered
I
in.
thought like I would get some teamwork.
The old worm does this thing called writhing. And so anybody within 3 cells of the old worm, when it's his turn, has to test agility at 7. And if you fail your test, you take 1d6 health damage. So imagine this old worm is just like flailing and writhing. he's in his hole, but his head is like spinning around and trying to like eat you. So if you're within 3 cells of it when the monster phase starts, you're gonna have to like test agility to see if you dodge the writhing. So you can either try to move farther away from it, or you can move in right now and attack it, but you've got a dagger.
Yeah, to change stuff.
And the light sharp weapon doesn't even do a hit. You can't even hit the old worm with a light sharp weapon. Yeah, I mean you have a bomb, but it's not equipped.
No.
So you probably need some distance, and you probably need to equip the bomb or come up with some other strategy that I'm not thinking of which there are probably many.
So can I go like here?
Yeah, let's count. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so you're outside of writhing range there. So you're temporarily safe there if you want to move there. And that would be it for your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's monster phase. The cultists are filing in. They're actually going to head toward the inner chamber. So they all move 4, so that's like 1, 2, 3, 4. What else do we got? The old worm writhes, but you're not within range, so you're good. And then for my turn, I'm going to bust down this door. It's got a challenge rating of 8. I have a might of 6. Plus 1 is 7. Oh, wait. So I didn't bust down the door. Jeez, man. The fighters. Okay. Clear.
Alright, here we go. I'm out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just not that good to have a board that's like
I think it's
a
perfect.
dead end.
That's the whole point, is that it should be like some routes should be very difficult.
You should have a secret door, secret door where you can take a shortcut from that dead end.
I know. That's hard. I'm sorry.
But there's always just one person like rushing to get back to the action, and you're trying to go for like that big climactic.
Right, but I hear what you're saying. I feel your pain.
I mean, the funny thing is I'll get there faster than you, and I was even farther away.
But you could have. I mean, actually, you couldn't have. Never mind. Yeah, I keep forgetting you can't get through. Okay, it's your turn.
It's your turn. I move. Just load my hands up with stuff.
Okay, but this decrements.
Yeah, that needs to go down to 1.
You time to get out of there.
There's no time to get out of there.
What's the blast radius on a bomb?
Line of sight. Basically the whole chamber.
He's just like gonna suicide this shit. You can get over here. You can get in this. That's a line of sight.
Well, on his next turn, he could go 1, 2, 3, 4.
No,
He's
he could even.
out of line of sight.
He could get over here. No, he can't.
He can just leave on his next turn if you want. If you want,
you need-
or he can take the damage.
Those guys are gonna come through.
Yeah,
So
you can't pass through. Like they block you too.
yeah, there's nothing.
If you can stay alive, I'll try to heal you.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so if your health goes to 0, you don't die immediately. You're unconscious, and all your other stats decrement by 1 each turn. And when all of your other stats hit 0, then you're dead.
That
So
makes
when you're
sense.
unconscious, the cleric can come and actually revive you.
Stay alive.
So that's how that works. Did we do monster phase already?
No, you gotta do that.
Wait, who just went?
He just went. We had a really fast turn. I collected. I picked up. You moved. He went.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change my thing and just move over here. That's takes me out of line of sight, right?
You're still in line of sight.
Oh, okay.
Basically, the whole chamber's in line of sight.
Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter then.
Okay. So that's where you are.
Yeah. I guess I can turn this over, right?
Yeah. And you flip that over. You found a chest. It's heavy. So
Get in
you
it.
can't carry it. But,
Get in the chest.
But you have a lockpick, so you can immediately pick it. Or not immediately, but on your next turn, you can actually open the chest with your lockpick. Yeah. All right, cool. So now you have a bomb equipped. It's pretty badass. Oh, the bomb is a two-handed weapon.
Oh,
So you have to stow your dagger. If you have space for it.
Down. Okay, get rid of something. How many?
Oh, you can do
lockpicks
two.
anymore?
You can do two light items in that medium stow slot. So like the lockpick and the dagger can be in the same stow slot because they're both light.
Really here?
Like with the lockpick. So like the dagger and the lockpick could both go
okay.
there. Although this trap's heavy, technically you can't put it in your rucksack.
Mm-hmm. Can I just ditch it?
Yeah, you can ditch it.
Why don't you
Can I
just
just,
use it?
can I just put it here? It's heavy. But that, well, you talked about that nothing I can carry is heavy, so.
Right, that's a bug that I need to write down.
Okay.
Traps need to be medium, not heavy, because otherwise the thief can't even carry them.
Just
What's your might?
4.
Okay, so you have a throwing range of 3. So you could throw it adjacent to the old worm. You could throw your bomb and it would land adjacent to the old worm and it would immediately explode. But you're within line of sight, so you're gonna take damage if you do that. Which is why the other option is to go up and place it and then set the fuse timer for like 4 turns or whatever, or 3 turns or 1 turn, and then leave, and then it'll go off. But you might be able to survive a bomb attack, but you might not.
I'm gonna set the bomb and put a couple turns in there.
Okay, but if you go up and set the bomb, you'll have to do an agility test against the writhing,
Yeah.
because you'll be within range, but you're pretty fast, so you might be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
You gonna do that?
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. Okay, let's do that. So for your turn, you're gonna move next to the worm. You're gonna place the bomb. And how long of a fuse do you want to set on it? Just like 1 turn or 2
you
turns?
can count
or?
how
2
many
turns.
turns these guys will take. Because if you set it, like if you go 1 more and set it over here, then these guys may be able to get there at the same time and blow them all up with the worm.
So you would want like a long fuse for that. I don't know they'd get there in 4 turns though. Give me 5, sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They go through secret chambers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What was that? 3 of them?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How many turns was that?
The 4.
Yeah.
So you could set the fuse for 4 turns.
Yeah, which means I need to get out of there and go that way.
You would have time for that too, though.
You would have time to like do some discoveries, perhaps.
Can you imagine? Oh, he can kill the villagers. If there's villagers.
Yeah, it'll knock out those discoveries because they're all in line of sight of the bomb. Like technically, you can't move and place the bomb because
No.
that's 2 actions. So you'd have to move on this turn, do an agility test, place the bomb, do another agility test, and get out of there. It's kind of complicated.
So I haven't even placed the bomb yet.
Right.
I just moved there.
You're just there. You still have the bomb equipped,
So I did the agility test.
and now you have.
he can't stealth because it's a monster.
He can't stealth because he's in light. He's not in shadow, so you can't sneak in lit spaces.
Okay.
Only if you end on a shadow space.
Got it.
So you have to do an agility test, 7 or higher. You actually automatically pass it, I think.
I have 5.
Oh yeah, so you have to roll. 6. All right, so you take.
Every time somebody drops the dice like that, I'm like, no. You have to put some intention in that.
You take 1d6 damage to your health. 3, so your health goes down 3 points. Which is fine, you still have a lot left. So it writhes and like slaps you pretty hard, and you're like, oh shit, that hurts. Alright, so you're done, and then it's monster phase. So that was monster phase.
Yeah, now you can set it for 1,
1, 2,
Fuse
3,
less.
4, 5.
right?
Well, he didn't place the bomb yet. On his next turn,
Yeah, but if he does 4, it's almost like too much.
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
You'll
you
have to
wanna
just
it.
do that math again.
Okay, so these guys move. He arrived. Technically, this rat should have become alerted when he kicked that door down, you know? So the rat moves 1, 2, 3. So this is the monster phase, and I have to do a conflict roll.
3 turns.
Okay. 3 turns. 3 turns it is. Monster phase, so it's gonna writhe again. Agility 7, so 2 plus 5 is 7.
Yeah.
So you beat it. So you dodge the writhing old worm.
You know its tricks now.
These dudes move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, here's another rat. But it's not alerted.
It's not alerted. It's kind of like way off.
Yeah.
1, 2. Auto flip. Gold. Cleric's up.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. God, you go all the way around, don't you?
Yeah.
Sucks.
It's not easiest game board ever.
All right, thief.
You're
So,
alienating.
yeah, auto flip. Oh, you found. So those are objective tokens. You just found a villager. So there's a villager cowering in the shadow, and one of the objectives of this scenario is to like rescue the villagers. So you place that villager on your character card, and so now like you're sort of helping that villager. And this
How many turns does it bomb? Do you count
we
that?
we have to we decrement it because it's his turn, right? So we'll
Yes.
do it during his turn. So now we're down. The fuse is down to 2. And then monster phase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think. And now I need to like. I'm gonna pick this gold up. And I can do, this is a heavy slot, so I can do a light and a medium. So this fighter's just got like tons of gold on
What a
it.
useless teammate.
I'm collecting the stuff. I'm gonna help us I'm gonna divvy all this up once we get out of here.
Sure.
Maybe, if I feel like it. So during the monster phase, the cultists continue to move into the inner chamber. We don't need to do a writhe roll because the thief is out of range. So I think that's it.
How about that rat attacks him?
Where's the rat? It doesn't attack cultists. Monsters don't attack each other. So that just kind of stays there. Although the rat would be alerted because of all the noise and stuff.
Realistically.
And the rat would have advanced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Advanced 6. 6. Cleric.
Where am I? Oh, okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, bomb.
Did you? Oh, you lock. But so you can do something
You do
before the bomb goes off. What'd you do?
I just put stuff in my hands. Just 'cause I'm gonna have to fight this rat.
Okay.
If I survive this bomb.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You just got in there, man.
All right, so let me just confirm. All right, so the bomb finally goes off. The fuse goes down to 0. The bomb goes off, and 1d3 damage is done to the old worm. And the thief rolled a 2 on a 1d3, so the old worm takes 2 damage. The old worm only has 1 hit point left, but now the thief has to take 2d6 damage.
Wait, you have to do these, because these guys are line of sight too.
Oh, right. Well, they only have 1 hit point each, so they all die.
Jesus.
Are they in line of sight though? I would say yes, because they're in that cell, right?
Yeah, that's a line of sight.
All
In
right.
fact, there's a line that goes right to them.
So this actually blows up. So all these cultists are destroyed by the bomb.
Move.
And now you have to roll 2d6 damage to yourself.
Hey guys.
Oh man, 11. All right, so the thief is down to 0 health, but he's not dead, he's unconscious. So we turn him on his side. That's one way to do it. Now, every turn from here on out, all you can do is decrement your will and your sanity by 1. And then when all 3 stats reach 0, then you're dead forever. But the cleric could potentially heal you or revive you if the cleric can reach you.
This is gone.
Oh yeah. That's right. The second rat died too. So the thief kind of did like
Kamikaze.
yeah, kind of a kamikaze. Took out all the monsters. I mean, the old worm still has 1 hit point left, but destroyed all the other monsters, which was huge. But also kind of almost killed himself. He may still die. So the thief continues to die slowly. He only has
I'm not making it to him.
will left. Yeah, I think you're gonna get to him. And the fighter's slowly making his way over to help with the old worm. And the cleric is heading in to try to heal the thief, but also avoid the old worm, because the old worm could end up killing the cleric too. Cleric moves, thief dies more slowly, down to 7.
Oh, right. That's better.
Fighter continues to race toward the action. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cleric.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
You think I'll be able to get over the stack of bodies here?
Yeah, you can go over bodies. You just can't go over living monsters. Thief. Cleric. So now the fighter, everyone's in the inner sanctum now. We're all just barely out of range of the old worm's writhing. And the cleric is going to try to heal the thief. All right, so the cleric is concocting a healing potion to try to save the thief, and the fighter just charged the old worm, and now we have to do a conflict roll between the fighter and the old worm. And I only need to get 1 hit on the old worm to kill it, but it's going to be tough. So the fighter has a long, sharp, heavy weapon, which is about the only thing that can really hurt an old worm. And so he needs a 9 or higher. So he has a 6. I need to roll a 3 or better to hit the old worm. So the fighter swings his broadsword, but just can't penetrate the tough, scaly outer shell of the old worm. And the old worm needs an 8 or less to hit the fighter. So 6 plus 2 is 8. The old worm hits the fighter. You see what I'm saying? So he does 2d6 damage to the fighter. Oh my god. So the fighter is now unconscious and is going to be slowly dying. And the old worm is still alive.
I'm gonna choose the hero here and try to save. No offense, goldmonger.
But see, here's the rub. I'm still in range of the old worm, and I'm not going to pass that agility test. I'm going to just but his health is already 0. So the old worm isn't going to continue to damage his health, but he's going to continue to slip into death.
Yeah, let's just skip that. I'm gonna, instead of doing that.
Oh, so okay, we're reversing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna reverse that. 2 herbs. And the roots. Okay, so instead of doing that, is he considered evil?
He is. Well, let's check. Oh, the old worm's not evil. Sorry, he's unknowable. The demons are evil. All the red monsters are evil. But the old worm isn't actually, the old worm is not evil or good. He's just kind of unknowable. He's like an elder god.
What's the scroll do?
Oh, the scroll lets you, I think, use any spell. Let me check the rules.
I just restored 3 of his health.
And would you cast, or would you concoct?
I concocted the medicine
Okay.
But
concoction.
what about the sanity?
I'm gonna work on that next.
Don't waste all your time trying to.
Wait, could I just use the spell, and would that affect his vitals?
Which spell?
Okay, so let me.
Yeah, see what your spell options are. I mean, you'll take the hit to cast it,
Yeah, it's alright.
but you have health to spare. No man left behind.
Simplify.
You have no heal spells in here.
There should be.
You have no heal spells.
So what do I have?
Blast, burn, command, fear, fireball, float, fog, freeze, light, lock, unlock, look, might, protect, shake, shield, sleep, swift, through, transmute, and vanish.
I thought there was a heal spell. It might have gotten accidentally omitted or something. I don't know. Or maybe I decided to make the cleric the healer and the mage like has aggro magic. I think that's kind of what I decided on.
He's just gonna die anyway. There's no way of saving him.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
What's the amulet do?
It adds to your conflict roll against evil monsters. It makes you more powerful against evil monsters.
Cool, but not helpful.
Right.
And the potion? The potion's what I'm doing right
The
now.
potion is just the vessel for the concoction.
So he's toast. I'm sorry.
There's nothing I could do to defeat the worm anyway.
But he paved the way. I mean, if he didn't set up that bomb, I'm not sure we could have navigated.
How many herbs did I have? I think, how many herbs did that cost? Yeah, I had 3. Okay.
So you need to revive the fighter.
First of all, give me the villager. I'm gonna take him.
I don't think that works.
I think actually you are allowed to.
You can transfer
Yeah.
assets.
Okay, so I have the villager now. Can I revive the fighter? Do I have to be adjacent to use my stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you?
I'm right
You're
here.
gonna have to get Riot.
Oh, now I gotta go attack this thing.
Well, I mean, you can do an agility test.
I'm gonna just do my scroll first and arm it. That's what I'm doing.
So you can cast a spell.
I'm gonna try it. Okay, so that was, and
Try
then
shake again.
and then you guys deplete.
Yeah, we're both out, aren't we? Okay, so
Because I have to kill this thing first, right? Okay, and then let me see the roll book again. I'm gonna use the scroll to cast. I should use the same spell, the shake, as like last time.
yeah, I can't remember what the parameters are, like how risky it is. You only need really one thing to fall, because you only have 1 hit point of damage to do. But I like that. I think it's cool that the cleric can cast any spell, but just one spell and just once with the scroll.
Yeah.
So instead of having this huge spell book, it's just like
Here it is.
it's like one shot
Yeah.
to do something cool.
Because it's kind of is like parallel practice.
Man, the cleric is kind of saving this game. But you paved the way. If you didn't set up that bomb, we kind of all would have been screwed. Like we wouldn't have killed.
I can make a toad.
Yeah, monster.
What's that?
Turn the monster into a toad.
Yeah.
Then step on.
There's a spell in there called Transmutate, which allows you to turn, I think you or something else into a toad. But you have to have the toad. And only the magic user can start with the toad.
Okay, I'm gonna do shake,
Okay.
and the shake is going to be 1d3 of will.
All right, so the cleric is gonna read a scroll to perform a shake spell.
I'm going for a 6.
So he does 2 damage to his will, right?
Yeah. So my will goes down here.
And then what?
I'm going to drop the ceiling on the old worm right
How many items do you drop? Is it 1d3?
1d3 damage to large or giant creatures.
So you automatically drop something on it. You automatically drop debris because you do 1d3, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can roll to see how many you drop. So you drop 3 debris, and they can be on any spaces.
All on him.
All on him. You could bury
Do you have
you could
anything
give the
else?
thief a proper burial.
No.
Okay.
Wait, can I do something else on the board here?
Like what?
What's alive still?
Nothing. Because
These guys are.
the bomb killed it. Oh, you can only drop it, I think, in the tile that you're in.
Okay.
So the cleric uses the scroll to cast the shake spell, which causes the inner sanctum to quake, which causes debris to fall on the old worm. The old worm only had 1 hit point left. So the old worm is destroyed. The fighter is still unconscious, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The thief is dead.
Next turn.
Next turn, the thief dies. The fighter still awaits from dying, but very unconscious. And I guess the cleric's up. Jax was a good man. All right. So at this point, we could call it, or I mean, there's only one unexplored tile, so which might uncover more monsters, or we can just get out of here.
We have to go get the villagers.
Right. Well, right now, how many do we have?
1.
I've got 1. I've got a feral child, and you've got 1 villager. So there's 2 villagers left. Right?
Yeah.
And we killed the old worm.
Let's go there. Should be a direct route.
Okay, so
It's your turn.
let's both move.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Standing on their bodies.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go here. And then we explore. Okay. Any monsters? Nope.
No monsters.
Okay. So that's a gap that has to be jumped, or we have to find that secret passage to go around it. But we can go this way. Why don't I go over here? And where you want to go? Do you want to jump across that, or do you want to try to explore the
I
secret?
try to explore the secret passage.
Okay, so you go here. On my next turn, that's a 6, so I automatically destroy this door because I have a might of 6. I don't even have to roll. All right, so I have a might of 6 plus 5 is 11. There's only 1 psycho rat. I have, heavy, long, sharp. I needed a 9 or better, and I got an 11, so I destroyed it. And he needs, 5 or less. So I kill the psycho rat, no problem.
So I think we could just leave.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it. So we can easily get out of here. There's nothing left to kill. There's nothing left to kill us. So we both make our way back to the exit. I collect the lost sword. It's heavy. I'm gonna get rid of the crossbow and the bolts. I'm throwing the crossbow and the bolts away. Because, turns out I'm not that good at shooting a crossbow. And I've got the last sword. So then the scenario rules has instructions for how many points each thing is worth. So I'm gonna look that up real quick and then we'll tally our XP. And then we can also use the gold that we acquired. So we've got 15, 25 plus,
Gems.
right?
Unless you want to rob Jax's dead body over there.
No, we probably shouldn't do that. Well, we'd have to carry all that stuff out of there, which we can't.
Yeah, all I have is gems.
Yeah. How much are the gems worth?
The gems are, I don't know, doesn't say. It just says L. There's 3 gems on the card.
The gems are worth 25 gold. So we have a lot of gold, and then we would be able to buy more items and then continue. So these 2 characters could actually continue, and they'd be leveled up with more powerful items.
Is it really worth his life?
And like a lost sword. But then, you know, this player could potentially like roll up a new character and then come with us, and we would be higher level characters, and then there'd be a new character. So anyway, that's kind of how it works.
Thought it was fun.
Bravo.
I think that like there was some serious heroism, which is kind of the way it goes. I still think the game board isolates characters and doesn't allow a team conflict at the end. But the very nature of it is like somebody gets locked in a pocket.
Is it because we don't stick together though? I mean, we typically don't stick together, and we could. There's no reason why we have to split up.
The stakes are so slight at the beginning that
Right.
there's no reason. It's kind of boring to stick together.
Right.
It's
And then
true.
all of a sudden you're in another side of the board.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think those are all reasons why the board is actually good. Like, I think the board should be hard to navigate, and there should be really long dead ends that are hard to get out of. And it should sort of encourage you to want to split up and then regret it later. Like, those are all things I kind of wanted the board
Mission
design to do.
Well, just keep in mind like how long it takes you to cover half a board to, if in case somebody does,
Right.
make a breakthrough.
Yeah. Yeah, at any point you could have chosen not to do all that stuff.
Yeah,
But-
that's I told Rich that's what I was gonna do. Go
Yeah, it's
in.
cool.
It was amazing, man. I mean, you killed like all the cultists. You prevented the ritual from the old worm, the ritual of the old worm from even happening,
Yeah, that
because you killed the cultists that were going in there to
They
sacrifice.
had the
themselves.
timing just right. How many turns it would take him to get there?
It was pretty cool.
And you just about killed the old worm too.
Yeah, it could have gone poorly, and maybe I would have just killed the cultist, and the worm would have been fine.
The only way you could have survived if you would have set the fuse and then immediately left.
Yeah,
But
that's what I wanted to do at first. You guys were like, "Get those treasures! You're
Uh,
gonna destroy the discoveries."
But see, you might have rolled a 2 for your damage and barely damaged
That's
yourself.
true.
Like you might have dodged.
I had no concept
The
of
shrapnel.
what the damage could be, but it seemed like pretty on par for what it should be.
yeah,
You just got unlucky with your damage roll because you could have easily lived.
I think that's exactly how it goes.
Yeah,
You threw a bomb.
with horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah, you carry around a bomb, if you're gonna get blown up.
I still think this door. What is this door even doing here?
That was the one that
I opened,
Oh.
kicked it or something.
I thought that was fun. It's there's just like 22% excessive rolls.
Mm-hmm.
22% too much rolls. Maybe 18 to 20%.
Problem is 33% of the players are gonna like that, and 2/3 of the players are gonna think it's a little too
I
complicated.
think it adds variables so you're not playing the same game every time.
Right.
This is a completely different game than the last time, and partially because of all the minutia and the rules.
Mm-hmm. And that's why people like more complicated dungeon crawls.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different things you can do. If I simplified the rules, it would really just be like move, fight,
Like playing Trouble, or just about clicking around.
Right.
Here's a couple random ideas that you probably won't like and are probably impossible. But you could have the tiles loaded with the pieces. Like if you had like a hole, and like a circle chit you can fit into the holes. So when you grab the tile, like all the pieces are preloaded.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be expensive to build.
Yeah,
it'd be
that's
it'd
true.
be super cool.
That's too expensive. Yeah, you're right.
I love those tiles that are double layered that have like slots in them for
Yeah.
chits and stuff. And if money was no object, you could really go bonkers with that kind of stuff.
I think we need to remember that we can flip over right away. I think you should be able to flip and grab. I think that you should be able to equip stuff without a cost, without a turn. Because people in battle can like drop something and grab something else.
I mean, kind of, but it takes time to do that. Like if you have a crossbow and you have a broadsword stowed in its sheath, shouldn't it take time to like switch between those two things, like a turn?
I think some of that stuff could be done away with. You should be able to like instantly equip, or maybe it's just like some of the players can, or some of the objects could be instantly equipped. Like a dagger should always be equipped because you could always snag a dagger. You know, like people keep daggers in their shoes because it's like a really quick draw weapon.
I mean, that would be cool with something like that. Like like a special rule for the dagger is that you can equip it free of cost.
Yeah.
Like, sure. I was just trying to make it simple, like manage gear, one action.
Yeah.
It's just like
So
clean.
instead of us having one more thing to remember, wait, but I have a dagger, so like.
Right. Right.
You'd almost have to just like build it into the actual player card and have like a dagger there.
Yeah, it's just like
Permaday.
embedded in your character. Which, yeah, it's funny.
I think this scenario needs more monsters. Like just a couple different ones.
Right.
Even if you add on, even if you have the chanting
Did
still.
we totally explore all the range of monsters?
I think there's some.
That was the first time for the Pharaoh child.
Yeah.
If there was anything else.
There's more Psycho Rats, and there's some sludge. The sludge is kind of like blockage. So if the sludge turned up at a strategic point, it could really screw you. Like,
lock you into catastrophe.
yeah, or you could really have a hard time getting into the sanctum if the sludge is in your way.
I think the cleric needs tuning for sure. I think the cleric should have intrinsic abilities.
But
Like the
They did pretty well.
think about what all you accomplished as the cleric.
You killed the worm.
You revived me. You
almost
killed the
revived
worm.
me.
In some ways, you were the most powerful character in the game. I'm not sure you need more
You
power.
killed like at least 2 of those cultists, right?
yeah, I did kill him.
So that's more than I thought a cleric could do.
Yeah, the cleric was actually pretty badass. And the way you played it, I mean, you played it pretty smart. You were really maximizing your concoctions.
Probably shouldn't have gone all the way around the board and then let me like to die there.
We'll let our audience.
Once you know there's one door in there, that's all there is, right? You know, that's all there ever is one door.
Yeah, there's only.
Yeah, but you gotta find
That's
the
right.
villagers though. You can't just like
Right.
dodge.
I mean, you don't have to. If you're on the verge of dying and you don't have a cleric, and it's like I could look for more villagers, or I could get out of here with